The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
I'm pretty confident in saying this, Kyle. Pettersson's going to the Los Angeles Kings, and Gavin McKenna's coming to the Vancouver Canucks.
Okay.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, happy hump day, and welcome to another episode of Locked On Canucks. My name is Trevor Beggs, sports reporter for Daily Hive Vancouver, joined as always by my brother and my co-host, Kyle Bhawan. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. It's the last call for football on FanDuel. If you're a new customer, bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. The Canucks might be the worst team in the NHL, but got quite a few news and notes to get to today on Locked On Canucks, including a surprising trade candidate for the Vancouver Canucks, at least according to one report, an update on what the Canucks plan to do with Adam Foote heading into the rest of the season. We'll also touch on, again, Gavin McKenna as well, a former Canuck of the week caught in a bizarre incident last night. But before we do all that, let's talk about Elias Pettersson, Artemi Panarin, and the Los Angeles Kings, and why I do think it's becoming more and more likely that the Los Angeles Kings become the landing spot for Elias Pettersson.
You don't want to talk about Gavin McKenna getting this news first? You want to talk about?
All right. Whatever. You're the older and wiser one, man. You want to go McKenna first? We can go McKenna first.
I think we have to go talk about the future. And Elias Pettersson's not a part of the future. Okay, like, he's not part of the core, like the big part of the future with the Vancouver Canucks. I'm off that boat. He can draw me back. He can throw me a rope. He's gonna have to earn it. But again, this is big. This is big. And again, off the top, I'm just gonna assume no stupidity / like bullying / racism / what's the other word? Discrimination.
Yeah. I'm
just gonna assume that this was a bar fight that ended with one guy getting beat up. Again, that's all the evidence that I have, and I'm just going to assume it off that, and then I'm going to lead with this. What are the chances, okay, that the Canucks, and again, this is so Canucks, and again, I hope the guy who broke his jaws gets well soon, and the therapy and money and all that stuff will heal him up, but what are the chances that this is the season where this happens, okay, right? Stenberg versus McKenna. McKenna's starting to peel away a bit. McKenna's been the protege for years and years and years. The Canucks are the worst team in the league. Probably going to draft 1, 2, or 3. Definitely 1, 2, or 3, 100%. And now they're going to have to face this situation, right? Because there's going to be some teams, like, who may be a little, what's the opposite of bullish on McKenna because of this? I don't know. Is there a chance that he slips? Are there character issues? Are all these things going to come about? And what are the chances that the Canucks could have a chance to get McKenna? And it's going to be an even more polarizing pick now.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be more polarizing. I mean, it's not every day that, the number one overall pick in the NHL draft gets charged with aggravated assault, 5 months before the draft's about to take place, right? So this is a pretty wild story. And when I first read it, it's a student paper in Pennsylvania. You've never heard of it. You're like, damn, is this actually true? And within 5 minutes, you can look up the Pennsylvania court records, and sure enough, this guy has been charged with 4 separate charges related to this incident. The Oklahoma, or the Penn State blog, they said that basically McKenna, according to their sources, got in a bar fight. He dislocated a guy's jaw. There's been some other trickles that have come out that someone insulted McKenna's mom, and he stepped in and punched the guy in the face. So
there's also a sports reporter from Pennsylvania called Evan Smith. Looks like a younger cat. I don't know if he's like a college student, saying that they looked into reports about the McKenna thing and said that he might have broken a jaw of a kid who was chirping him.
Yeah.
I don't know what kid means. Like, McKenna's still a quote unquote kid too, like 18 years old. But yeah, just carry on, Trevor. Just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, no, 100%. And look, you're at a college campus, right? I mean, it's mostly 18 to 24-year-olds, right? Again, just a fascinating incident overall. But I think, the reaction, from a lot of Canucks fans when they saw this news is like, okay, typical Canucks luck. Like, in the year that we have the first overall pick, the most talented player available at the top of the draft could be going to prison. Without knowing the ins and outs of the laws of each state, if this was something where he was provoked, just kind of doing some quick research on other cases, like typically these things like don't end up in imprisonment, right? If a kid's beaking off, running his mouth and gets punched in the face, like I think a lot of people say that's justified. Now we don't know if that's actually the case or not.
And Trevor, you're a big sports fan. Worse things have happened at Penn State.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's absolutely true. I mean, and look, McKenna, like it was probably one of the craziest days of his life that day, right? The guy's playing in front of almost 75,000 fans in an outdoor game, scores a bingo, has 2 more assists in that game, continuing on with the hot streak. I mean, it looks like everything had been turning up for McKenna since the World Juniors, right? He's really picked it up at Penn State. Obviously, he was piling up points in the World Juniors, but we know it was, he had some flaws in his game too. But look, I think if you're the Vancouver Canucks, I mean, am I going to sound like an asshole here? I want to have more details come out.
Mm-hmm.
Not too worried about Gavin McKenna right now. I'm not worried about his draft stock falling. I'm not worried if the story is true that he's defending himself. Like again, the unverified report was that someone insulted his mom when he punched the guy in the face. I mean, dude, if someone assaulted you, I'd punch them in the face, man.
Oh wow, thank you. Would I do the same for you? I think I would take the punch. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd get beat up for you, so you'd have time to run out of there and get back to your family because you got a family, right? Like I take that, but I don't know if I could beat somebody up. I'm not a hockey player, okay? Hey, Gavin McKenna, spitting chicklets a couple weeks ago saying that, he used to hunt moose with his grandpa, right? Like he seems like a tough son of a gun. Sorry to bring up Don Cherry, good old Canadian kid. And again, if you're just new to the live stream, we laid it out, okay? Just based on what we just have, and that's the fact that one guy has a broken jaw. He got charged for this and that, blah, blah, blah. We laid it out. We're assuming that no bullshit happened. No, gross, disgusting, bullying, evil stuff. It was just a bar fight that went wrong for one guy. Trevor, based on all that, if it is community service after this, and it's a small slap on the wrist, I feel like the character issue things shouldn't follow him. And Trevor, everyone's favorite Vancouver Canuck. Well, one of them, everyone's favorite Canuck personality, probably Kevin Bieksa, right? Gets into a bar fight as well. Maybe he broke Fedorov's jaw too. Maybe Fedor wanted to charge Kevin Bieksa too, but he's like, you know what? I'm not going to be a snitch. You know what I'm saying? It could go so many different ways. But there's another guy. Did we question Kevin Bieksa's character? No, we probably loved the fact that he punched somebody at the jaw in the jaw at the bar, right?
And so did Brian Burke. He literally signed the dude after that. Yeah, and that's why I don't want to sound insensitive about this, but if what we know is true right now and he was just defending himself, someone's insulting him, beaking off to him, I mean, it's hard just to sit there and take that, man. If someone's beaking me, I'm actually not too concerned, but if someone's insulting my family or my friends, that's when I start to get a little rowdy. So, and look, man, for a guy that's known as, maybe a soft perimeter player, I think it'd be nice to see a little bit of FU in him if the story is true, if it is true that he was defending himself in the situation. So look, with the Canucks and Gavin McKenna, we'll have to see how this plays out. My gut right now is that it's not going to affect his draft stock. I mean, teams are going to do their digging and start to find out the real story. I'm sure we'll find out the real story as well. But if you're the Vancouver Canucks, I mean, Kyle, I'll ask you the question. Are we being insensitive assholes right now?
Yeah, we're definitely being insensitive assholes, but grew up on Kevin Bieksa. And we don't have a lot of evidence. And Trevor, just elaborate on the whole, if he was defending himself, what you think, getting chirped warrants you getting your ass kicked? You know what I'm saying? Some people will hear that and be like, dude, just because somebody makes fun of your mom, don't go break his jaw and give him a concussion or what. You know what I'm saying? It's not oh, great job, Gavin McKenna. It's not all that. But I just feel like at his age, if it is just this, and it's just this, I just think the character issues can kind of I hope just brush move on, because this is again, him being young, him being with his mom at the bar. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of components that probably led to an eruption based on the evidence that we have. But yeah, Trevor, elaborate on the whole defending yourself thing, because some people may take that out of context, and I'm trying to understand. Like, did you read something where you think like there was a fight that started or something? I'm just trying to know.
Yeah, based on the reports that are out there, and some of them are unverified, like people that said I was there at this night. This is what happened. It sounded like he was at a bar with his buddies, and someone was chirping him. Some people have said it was someone insulting Gavin McKenna's mom. Apparently, Gavin McKenna's mom might have even been there that night.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I thought she was there. Okay, man. See, where it's all over the place.
Yeah, but again, we're pretty early into this story right now, right? So, but yeah, I think in terms of defending yourself, look, and you talk about maybe I'm just more of an asshole than you, but like if someone's beaking my mom or my bros or my wife, dude, I get a little riled up, man.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, man. Allegedly, assumedly, I once punched a guy in the face at the bar for knocking my wife, bumping into my wife and her friend on the dance floor, man. So I mean, like it happens to the best of us, man. And this kid's only 18 years old, man. Like how much? I know you and I were doing some dumb shit at 18 years old. I mean, look, again, wait for more details to come out, but this isn't something that really scares me away from Gavin McKenna right now.
dude, I was doing dumb stuff at a bar at the age of 20, dude. Like, honestly speaking, like 18 years old, like some people are probably going to be like, oh, why was he at the bar at 18? I don't know, man. Just like everyone, it's just, we can go down this rabbit hole, but life is life. You've seen, like, you know what I'm saying? Where am I going with this? Trevor, when I was 20 years old, I wasn't in a bar fight, but I got smoked in the head at Blarney Stone and I was bleeding from the head, okay? Bleeding from the head at the Blarney Stone. You know who did it? A girl did it, okay? She threw, I was with another girl that she didn't like. She threw something at the girl that I was with. She missed the girl and smoked me in the head and I was bleeding. Did I file charges? I should have. I wish I did.
Oh man, it's have you ever thrown a punch, Kyle? No, you're not really a fighting type. I know you get the biceps to do it, but
well, I've only thrown a punch in ball hockey, and that's just like, it's different when you're playing hockey. It's not like it's still like a fight in a brouhaha, but it's not the same, right? But no, I haven't been in a real fight. I haven't thrown a punch, so that's why I said if I had to defend you, what I would do is just be your shield.
oh, so nice of you, man. That's we've gone from colleagues to friends here, and that's the power of Locked On Canucks. Let us know in the comments. Are you feeling differently about the potential of drafting Gavin McKenna after the recent charges laid against him? Let us know in the comments. We'll be back on the side to talk about a guy who was once a star for the Vancouver Canucks and how it's time for him to leave to Los Angeles. That's coming up on Locked On Canucks. Before we get back to the show, let's shout out our friends over at FanDuel, baby. And man, oh man, the big game is coming up. The Seattle Seahawks, the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. It's the last call for football. One final Sunday, one last kickoff, and a final chance to get in on the action before the NFL season officially comes to a close. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel is making sure you're right in the middle of it with a special offer just in time for the biggest game of the year. Kyle, I know you're not much of a betting guy, but if you were going to place one bet on the Super Bowl, what would it be? Would it be, like the spread on the game, like an over-under? You like a Gatorade betting guy?
Sam Darnold interception. That's what I'm putting a bet on. I'm putting the over on the 1.5.
Oh, you're an asshole, man. Unbelievable. This is why first you choose your dad over me for Super Bowl, and now this. Unbelievable, man. You can bet on anything though on FanDuel. Again, some crazy bets out there. Go check it all out. If you're a new customer, bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. Make it count, because after the Super Bowl, the season is over. It's the last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com to get started.
Okay, we back doing this, and that's reading your comments here on Locked On Canucks. Man, oh man, Liberty Globber saying crazy how McKenna could get up to 20 years in prison. That's like, I read that headline and I was like, whoa, whoa. I mean, it was like some Aaron Hernandez stuff. I was like, yo, I don't know what's going on here. I was confused.
Yeah. I mean, like the total charges, if it was going to go to the max, and I'd probably bet my left nut that it's not going to go to the max. He's probably not going to prison at all, to be honest with you. But yeah, so the felony for aggravated assault is up to 20 years in prison. There's a secondary simple assault charge that carries a sentence of up to 2 years in prison. So if you want to go real doomsday, he's facing, up to 22 years in prison, which is the entirety of his NHL career. But
so what if he gets 2 years in prison? Where are you taking him?
Ooh, that's a great question.
With one of those second round picks? You know what happens if he gets
he's not falling that far, man. People would wait 2 years for him. Like I think he's still a top 10 pick.
If he gets 2 years in prison, the Oilers are going to grab him somehow, some way. It's all lining up for us to be cursed forever. Anyways, again, we don't have a lot of information, but this is a story. I just saw Paul Bissonnette tweet out tank for McKenna. # Leafs forever. It's it's very, 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 very polarizing. And as of right now, and again, such a asshole thing to say because somebody did break their jaw and have a concussion, and there was some aggression there. But as of right now, it doesn't sound as if there's none of that evil bullying jargon. Like Gavin McKenna is just an evil dude. Like who was Daniel Breyer's kid or whatever that threw somebody's wheelchair down the stairs?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It doesn't seem like something like that. Like it seems like a bar fight. And yeah, well, again, when we have more details on the future Vancouver Canuck, we'll give them here. Speaking of the future, we got to do this every time. It's the second segment of the show. We're talking about the NHL, and we'll run this right now on Locked On Canucks.
I thought this was a Canucks show.
I thought this was a Canucks show.
Ito this WAS a Canucks show.
All right, Artemi Panarin to the Los Angeles Kings for a 3rd round pick or a 4th round pick or a 2nd round pick, one of the above, a lot of conditional stuff. And a guy that I never heard of, a former 1st round pick from 2024. Trevor, I don't know, just give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you first see the return, it's pretty underwhelming. Our buddy Andrew Chelney retweeted a Rangers post from 2010 that just said Drury misses. But Liam Greentree, late 1st round pick, he infamously played, 23 seconds in one of the World Junior games for Canada? Like, why even play the guy if you're going to play him 23 seconds and bench him the rest of the game? But yeah, bigger prospect. I think middle 6 winger-ish. And yeah, lots of conditions. I think it's like a 3rd round pick, but it turns into a 2nd if they win 2 playoff rounds, or a 2nd if they win 1 playoff round, and then there's an additional 4th if they win a 2nd playoff round. Again, somewhat underwhelming return, but they got to consider the fact as well that Artemi Panarin reportedly only wanted to go to the Los Angeles Kings. And of course, he signs the 2-year extension, 11 schmil a season to back that up as well. I mean, look, I know this is what the puck, right? But it makes me think about the Canucks too, right?
Okay.
The lesson that's learned when you have a bunch of no movement clauses on your books, right? Like I think Artemi Panarin absolutely could have gotten a bigger return. Like there's no way this guy shouldn't get a 1st round pick as a rental, but he had the no move clause. They decided to deal him to LA. I still think that the Rangers should have waited on this to the trade deadline. I don't see what the rush was to deal him now for a mediocre return, but that's a moot point now. But again, a lesson for the Canucks that if they get guys as well that, force their hand and only choose to go to 1 or 2 cities, Elias Pettersson, then they might be handcuffed in the return as well. And Kyle, that's going to bring me back to what I think is a more and more likely scenario, which is Elias Pettersson going to the Los Angeles Kings. And, no real insider info here, but just reading between the tea leaves a bit, based on what his agent said, based on the fact that his wife spent half her life down in LA, based on the fact that Ken Holland has had a propensity to make, big moves for a team that's kind of middle of the pack. And the fact they got Kopitar retiring as well, and they're going to have the cap space heading into the summer. I think this is more and more likely that Elias Pettersson could be the top destination, or the Los Angeles Kings could be the top destination for Elias Pettersson.
Wow. Breaking news. Assumption by Trevor Beggs. Okay. So if we get a lot less for Elias Pettersson because Pettersson only wants to go to a few places when being asked to waive his no movement clause, and that again gives us no leverage. And you see what happened to the Rangers, and we get dealt the same hand. I'm over it. I'm okay with it. The guy's got 30-something points in almost 50 games again. What I'm saying? I'm starting to believe this is who he is. And we can sit here and hope that he's like worthy of a first round pick again and a prospect. Maybe we can sit here and hope that he refines his game completely. But like, what does less mean? Like, is it like a fourth round pick, a third round pick? Like, is it only a couple second round picks? Is it not having to retain money? I'm just curious. Like, what do you think less would be? Like, what is Carolina offering versus what Los Angeles is offering? I don't think it's a lot different. Pettersson gets paid $11.6 million, man, for 6.5 more years. Like one of the worst contracts in hockey. Elias Pettersson is centimeters away from being Jonathan Huberdeau and light years away from being Elias Pettersson. So, like, yeah, well, what is Carolina offering and what is LA offering? I feel like even without the leverage, it wouldn't be that different.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think just where Elias Pettersson is at right now, based on his production, based on his contract, you're probably lucky if you get a first round pick. Like, would you take the Kiefer Sherwood return, 2 second round picks for Elias Pettersson? I feel like a lot of Canuck fans are probably doing that. And again, just looking at LA in this draft, they do have 2 second round picks, one belonging to the Columbus Blue Jackets. So could be a bit of a higher second round pick, and then one that's their own, of course, as well. So again, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Every Dayers know. I think this is a trade that happens at the draft. Like, I don't think there's any way the Los Angeles Kings are trading for Elias Pettersson in season. This is something that happens after Kopitar retires. You have Andrei Kuzmenko coming off the books right now. He's making about $4.6 million. Corey Perry making $2 million this season as well. He's coming off the books. Like, they will have the room to get this done. And I can see Ken Holland swinging the fences on this, man.
I could see that too. I could see it, and it's worth the risk for the Kings too. Well, actually, I take that back, because didn't they give up like equal value for? Was it Darcy Kemp? No. It was for Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Yeah, it was Pierre-Luc Dubois for Darcy Kemper straight up.
No, sorry. The LA Kings gave up a lot to get Pierre-Luc Dubois. You know what I'm saying? Like, they overpaid for Pierre-Luc Dubois, and I wonder if they learned a lesson where they don't even want to overpay. Like, it's like, I'll take Pettersson, but we need to retain, because the Pierre-Luc Dubois thing like blew up in their face. They had their GM skating with them, not even meeting him within the room, like actually practicing with Pierre-Luc Dubois. Trevor, do you remember when we had that like podcast that we never released? Again, we want to do like a off-kiltered show where Trevor and I just like swear and stuff more often and release it once a week. And we did an episode last year, at the beginning of last year, and I compared Pierre-Luc Dubois to Elias Pettersson. I was getting those vibes. And I know Dubois is not with Los Angeles, and they swapped it for Kemper like sometime last year or whatever. But all in all, I don't know if the Kings would actually take Pettersson, considering he kind of reminds me of Pierre-Luc Dubois, no?
I don't think so.
I'm talking contract. I'm talking a little drama, a lot of inconsistency.
Yeah, I can see where you're going with it. Pierre-Luc Dubois has like a boisterous swagger about him, though, whereas Elias Pettersson's a bit more shy and timid. So like their personalities are very different, but I see where you're coming from in terms of two guys that, you know, were hyped up and were good as young players and then kind of leveled out. But I think the Los Angeles Kings also saw what Pierre-Luc Dubois did when he went to the Washington Capitals, right, where he turned into a good player again. And you know, any team that's going to take on Elias Pettersson is going to be betting that they can put him in a better situation.
Wow. Great comment from Oliver Sholnick here, saying LA would probably take Pettersson so they could pair him up with Kempe. I know Kempe is a big fan of Pettersson, although he was somewhat wrong about him last year at the Four Nations. On that note, though, you know, the Olympics coming up, maybe Kempe and Pettersson have some chemistry, and that it makes people think. I mean, that's why we got Louis Eriksson, right?
Yeah, the Olympics are a crazy time, right? We haven't seen NHLers there since 2014. And what was a big thing in 2014 was Ryan Kessler, going around saying he wanted out and then denying it. But you have guys that have chemistry at the Olympics, and it's going to make teams think differently about whether they should acquire that player or not. So I think Pettersson and Kempe playing together, that would be a dream for Canucks fans.
Dream for Canucks fans or dream for Kings fans?
I'm thinking from the Canucks perspective, but you can see it from the Kings angle as well.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I want to know, like, are you, again, tonight's the last game we play before the Olympics. I feel like an asshole for saying this, but I'm I don't know. I don't think I'm spending a minute watching Team Sweden play so I could watch like Elias Pettersson play. Like back in the day, not too long ago, like the best players in the Canucks when they're at international tournaments, like, you want to watch, you want to see how they're doing. But I don't know if I'm so deflated this year that I don't know. I'm just a Team Canada fan. Like I'm more of a McDavid fan than a Elias Pettersson fan. Like it's dark. I feel like an asshole for saying that, but like, are you excited to watch like Team Sweden play and see if like Elias Pettersson can find his game at the Olympics? Because again, I'm over it.
No, I'm absolutely excited, man. And I think from a Canucks perspective, it's a huge storyline to follow. Like if this guy was not good at the Four Nations, right? And apparently he was injured at the time. He's come out and said to Ian McIntyre last month that he's probably going to be playing with injury for the rest of the season. So the hopes aren't high, but if this guy does pop off at the Olympics, that's a huge story for Canucks fans, especially as there's, smoke around him potentially leaving. So I'm Team Pettersson, baby. Let's go tear it up, man. And go get the Canucks a haul.
Wow. You know what, Trevor? I'm happy you're still an Elias Pettersson fan like that, man. Straight up. You're teaching me a lesson, and I'm being dark. Like I said, I'm like, I'm more of a McDavid fan than Elias Pettersson. I'm surprised that you didn't break my jaw right there, Trevor.
I've never broken someone's jaw before. I got very tiny hands. I'm not sure if I could land a punch that hard, but no, it doesn't stop me from trying sometimes.
Anyways, let's get to the other side. Talk about the former Canuck of the week and read a lot of your comments. Trevor, can you favorite some comments? There's so many coming through, and I never favorite the comments, and it goes south all the time when I press the comment button. So get organized there, and we'll talk to you on the other side. Trevor, are we shouting out any friends?
We are, man. Our good friends at Doer. Let's go. All right. Before we get back to the program, let's shout out our friends over at Doer. They're back, baby. Man, oh man, Doer, they've changed my life. Okay. I don't want to be dramatic, but the jeans, the shirt, especially the jeans though, man, I wear them every damn day. They're so versatile. Okay. Doer, they're mixing denim and lifestyle apparel and is made for you to move freely without sacrificing comfort or style. If you don't have your own Doers yet, now's the time, baby. And look, these Doers are so damn comfortable. Again, these aren't just any old jeans. They're the world's most comfiest jeans. I wear them to sleep. I wear them to play with my kids. I wear them to the rink. I wear them to see Kyle Bowen. I wear them all the time. I practically live in my Doers. Comfortable enough for a plane ride, a nap, and professional enough to wear to a date. Let's go. Okay. And Doer's also got the Cool Max fibers that help regulate your temperature so you don't feel like you're overheating below the belt. Let's go. I know you'll love Doer as much as I do, so it's time to get a pair of your own. Check out Doer here in Vancouver at 1757 West 4th Avenue. Mention our promo code LOCKEDONCanucks in store to get 15% off your first order, or shop online at doer.ca/LockedOnCanucks for 15% off. Don't wait. Go to doer.ca/LockedOnCanucks.
No, seriously, go into Doer. Nice people, good hockey fans. And Trevor, man, my girlfriend said my ass looks nice in these Doer jeans, man. So I've always wanted one of those. The nicest thing she's ever said to me. Anyways, let's get back to the show. All right. We back doing this, and that's reading your comments here on Locked On Canucks. Okay, Trevor, pick one.
All right, man. Let's pick it out here. Let's go to Stormberg, okay? Stormhog, I should say. Kempe seems frustrated. This could happen. And look, the LA Kings, I was telling Kyle before we hopped on, they've piled up the loser points this season, man. All these overtime losses. I was looking a few days ago, and basically if the NHL was in a 3-2-1 point system, the LA Kings would be like 26 overall in the NHL. But because of the loser point, they've been hanging around in the standings. They are still outside the playoff bar. I mean, even just look at their past 10 games. They've got to 4 overtime losses, 4-2-4 in their last 10 games. And for Adrian Kempe, he's on a big contract as well, right? That's a guy you want to get the most out of if you're the Los Angeles Kings. And look, he's still finding a way to produce though, man. Like he's on a 5-game point streak right now. He's doing just fine. But I think, he's talked highly of Elias Pettersson before. I think there's something there with Pettersson being open to going to LA, his wife being open to going to LA, Ken Holland being willing to make the move, and boom, bam, Adrian Kempe being a fan of Elias Pettersson. Let's just make it happen, man. Let's go.
Wow. Let's make it happen. Now you want Pettersson to go make Kempe's dreams come true. Even if it's for like 2 second-round picks, you're good with that, right? Get off the books, Trevor. Like, you're good
with 2 second-round picks.
You said
I don't love it. I don't love it.
Make it happen.
And that leads me to another comment here, man. Olivia on the go. Shout out to Olivia and all our everydayers here on Locked On Canucks saying, LOL, no. PD is not as low as 2 seconds. Come on, Locked On. Do better. And
I'm sorry. Why do I keep saying that? Like, am I just... Dude, aren't I the one that's like, dude, if a guy's averaging 50 points and he's getting paid $11.6 million and he's not up for the Selke and he's not like one of the best face-off men in the league and he's not one of the best penalty killers in the league and he's not minus 15, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're getting rid of a guy that still has $70 million plus left on his deal, like, don't you have to pay to get off that guy? Am I tripping?
I think teams would bet on the talent, right? And, you know, you look at the metrics, you see the good defensive game, but I feel like we're grasping at straws a little bit. It's just rare to see a player drop off in the middle of his prime like this. So you're hoping that a team's going to bet on him bouncing back in a better situation. Like, that's really what it boils down to. And I do think teams are desperate to upgrade their center ice position, right? Like, we're now talking about Teddy Bluger, like maybe going for a third, maybe even a second round pick. I still think that's kind of high, but reports from Thomas Durant today saying that, you know, basically the Canucks want a third plus, maybe like a smaller asset for Teddy Bluger. So, I mean, like if Teddy Bluger's worth that, like Pettersson's superior to Teddy Bluger. I know Teddy Bluger's on the streak right now, 5 goals in 9 games, but Pettersson had 4 goals in 5 games, you know, early in January too. I think if you're the Canucks, you're trying to get a first round pick out of it. Like, that should be the goal.
Okay.
Anything above and beyond that, I think you're laughing all the way to the bank. But is a first round pick realistic? Based on the way he's playing, I'm not convinced of it.
Well, based on the fact that I don't know if LA has their 2026 first round pick, but
yep.
It's like they didn't even give that up for Panarin. Like, they gave up, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if LA's given that pick up. Again, after giving up a lot for Pierre-Luc Dubois years ago to bring in another guy who's getting paid a lot and has caused caused a feud with teammates and is just underperforming. Like, I don't know. And he's coming off another underperforming year with a team that crumbled. I don't see Elias Pettersson going for a lot. Trevor, before you run former Canuck of the week, we got to get out of here real quick. Can we run former Canadian of the week? Because I just saw that. Have you seen? Do you know who Tate McRae is?
Oh yeah.
I've never seen it. I've never heard of Tate McRae. Never seen a photo. Don't know who Tate McRae is. Right. I think I've heard her music, but don't know anything about Tate McRae. Never seen her in my life. But supposedly she's a Canadian pop star from Calgary and whatnot, and she's making commercials for Team USA and their Olympic squad. And I guarantee the check was fat. I'm assuming that's like an NBC check or whatever because they were promoting the Super Bowl too. But she sold her soul to the red, not devil, even though she might be dating Jack Hughes, but she sold her soul to the red, white, and blue. And I'm like, yo, Trevor, I know I cheered for Belgium during the World Cup of Soccer like 6 years ago. But that's before I went to therapy. Dude, what is she doing here, dude? What is she? This is the famous got to her head. And I'm predicting, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but yo, her career might not be the same after this one.
Yeah, it's a bit of a head scratching decision. And yeah, I know she's apparently dating an American and, you know, maybe she's, you know, trying to cheer him on over there. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm loyal to Canada. You know, I got the Maple Leaf on my arm. You know, even my wife, if she cheered for the Toronto Maple Leafs, I don't think I would have married her, right? My wife's a Sens fan. So, no, I'm more loyal than that. And for someone in the public eye like Tate McRae is, it's just, you got enough money. Why are you doing ads with NBC promoting America? Like, get out of here, man. What's
going on? Anyway, Stomhawk saying she's a rocket. No, she's a human being. So we're not talking about a space. It's not a spaceship thing, is it? No, it isn't. This is not Elon Musk, Tesla, a rocket ship thing. This is like a human being did this. So a Canadian human being went against her own nation. Maybe she thinks that Canada's already the 53rd state. Or, you know what? Let's not even. Okay. Can we do former country of the month, former Canuck of the week?
I don't want to say goodbye.
All right, the Cam Neely Former Canuck of the Week. We try to run the segment once a week or somewhere thereabouts. Of course, this guy's gotten the shout out before. He's been gone from Vancouver for 3 years, but I wanted to shout him out because A, he was electric last night, and B, he was in one of the most bizarre instances I've ever seen, and that is Bo Horvat of the New York Islanders. Scores 2 bingos last night, picks up an assist, a +5 on the night, skated 24-34, I believe. One of those goals was the OT winner. This guy's in Olympic shape. But not only that, Kyle, he had a run with a bird on the ice last night, man. Like I've seen like bats and birds and stuff at games before, but I've never seen a player run into a bird. And not only did Bo Horvat, not get deterred from it, he's skating behind the net and he runs into a bird. He's mic'd up during all this. If you haven't seen it, go check it out on the Islanders' social media. He runs into the bird. He's like, holy. And then he slides the puck out and picks up a secondary assist on a Matt Schaefer goal. So, Bo Horvat, man, when you got a couple kids, man, you don't have to play for the Canucks anymore. Nothing can rattle you, man. And speaking of guys I'm cheering for at the Olympics, I'm not sure if he's going to get into the lineup, but Bo Horvat, man, he's got to be like, maybe top 5 on the list of players I'm cheering for at the Olympics.
I mean, who would he replace?
It's a good question. That's why I think he's on the outside looking in, right? Like, it's off the top of my head, like maybe a Sam Bennett who was a replacement player, right? Like, does Bo Horvat have the edge above Sam Bennett?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. I think you're banking on injuries happening.
I don't think Sam Bennett's going to let go of the opportunity, Like, we might get a Tom Wilson, Sam Bennett line. Oh, there's a guy, maybe Tom Wilson. The quarterback to play the wing. Right? You never know. And I don't know, Horvat, you can already tell this guy's going to be the perfect teammate in that room. Like, he's not going to cause any like moments where like the coaching staff has to like question what they're doing, because no matter if like he's in the lineup or not, like, he's not going to cause stress in that room, right? He's going to be happy to be there, support the guy, support the nation, and all in all, like I hope he gets in too, because he has like big game pedigree to him, and he could help the country out, man. Not like Tate McRae, Tate McRae from Alberta. Alberta, America, man. I didn't say it. I saw that on ChatGPT. I was like, hey, ChatGPT, if like make the predictions for Canada over the next 5 years. They're like, Alberta will be part of Nebraska very soon.
Wow. Yeah. Big if true. Big if true. Alberta will be part of Nebraska. Gavin McKenna will be part of the Vancouver Canucks. Following in Kevin Bieksa's footsteps, man, punching a dude out at a bar and then signing a contract with your Vancouver Canucks. So that's my bold predictions on today's show. Gavin McKenna joined the Canucks. Elias Pettersson is going to the LA Kings. Kyle Bhawan won't punch anyone in the face for the rest of his life because he's a nice guy. And that was another episode of Locked On Canucks. If you like what we're doing here on the show, hit the goddamn like button, subscribe to the show on the podcast side, go follow us, and leave a 5-star review. I'm battling a bit of cold. I'm not sure if we'll do post-game tonight, but it's Locked On Canucks. Your Canucks every day. So we'll be back soon here on Locked On Canucks.